you laughing at me? A bunch of years ago, I destroyed my shoulder in a motorcycle accident, and then after that, I ended up opening an obstacle course racing gym, where, as you can imagine, I'm like swinging from monkey bars and rings and stuff like that all the time, and the shoulder thing never really got better. So I went to see all these different doctors. 6 different doctors told me I needed shoulder surgery. I didn't want to go that route. I ended up finding a doctor that did some PRP injections, my friend Dr. Danny, and it changed everything. It was like the single biggest change and impact I could imagine. In fact, I actually couldn't imagine it, because right now my shoulder is so much better than it ever was, even before the accident. It was like a miracle or something. But it wasn't just the injections. Past the injections, we made a decision that for like 90 days, we would cut all inflammatory foods completely. No sugar, no alcohol, basically ate 0 carbs unless it came from certain fruits that I was eating, and kept it really clean. At the time, I was coaching people into nutritional ketosis, and I know that everybody's like, I tried keto, it didn't work. Maybe, but actually, I bet you did not, right? Because all the time I would hear from people that they tried keto and it didn't work, and I would be like, you know, what kind of numbers are you getting when you test your blood? And they'd be like, what are you talking about? If you're not pricking your finger, which I understand sucks, but if you're not pricking your finger and you're not seeing if you're actually in ketosis, if your millimolars of ketones being produced by the liver are not present, you're not actually in ketosis. And if you're not in ketosis and you have no carbohydrates in your diet, you're just gonna feel completely run out of gas, right? So fast forward, I then had this Achilles tendon injury that we all know about. Got injections on the Achilles. We're 12 weeks out, 10 weeks out, stay in this lane, 10 weeks out from, follow that car, 10 weeks out from the Achilles injury. We were gonna be back to a Spartan race. That did not work out whatsoever. So now we're 12 weeks out. This thing still bothers me. I really have a hard time training all the time. I have not run yet, so I'm like as a running coach, I'm now like a year out of like no running, which is terrible. So last night he calls me, which was like he had like an epiphany, because the night before I was awake all night with how bad my Achilles was hurting. So yesterday he calls me and he's like, yo, we gotta take this to the next level. He's like we did with your shoulder, we gotta get into this like completely no inflammatory food situation. I got baby Champ chauffeuring me right now, so I'm gonna tell her that she's gotta get all the way across every single lane of traffic, and then we're just gonna stay in that lane all the way to basically where we exit for Homestead Training Center, where we're gonna get down on a workout. So I digress, back to business. So we're gonna get back into this ketosis thing. For those of you guys that don't know, ketosis cuts out all sorts of gut inflammation, and gut inflammation is what causes most inflammation that we have, right? Like the things we eat cause inflammation, and those are things that right now at this stage I have to really, really get rid of if I want to make forward progress. And it's important for me to make forward progress because I'm laughing because I keep thinking I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die in this car before I ever get into nutritional ketosis.
Oh, no.
Holy smokes. I always say she's a good driver, but that's at the go-kart track when she's trying to win. But on an actual highway, it's terrifying. I'm terrified right now.
Have we died?
Not yet. Not yet. But I only have 9 lives, and I'm at like 7.5, maybe 8.5. I might only have half my life left. Anyway, we got to get all the way over.
Oh, Dad.
You are too fucking close to this car. Jesus.
My foot is on the brake. What do you want me to do?
I want you to have 2 car lanes between us and the tractor trailer in front of us.
We're going 15 on the highway.
I don't care if we're going 12. 2 car lanes. Holy smokes, y'all. So, We're getting into ketosis. We're starting today. Here's what's up. I'm gonna fast for 4 days. I started last night, so I haven't had dinner. I'm doing water with electrolytes, not just water, because I don't want to urinate out all of the minerals that are very important for my kidneys to function properly. So on the serious note here, we're gonna fast for 4 days. We're gonna keep the electrolyte balance in check. I am still doing my creatine supplement. Creatine does not put you in or out of ketosis. However, protein will. So if you have too much protein in your diet, it will actually kick you out of ketosis through a process called gluconeogenesis. Did I say that right? I think so, because I'm just spinning off the top of my dome. And what that is whatever excess protein your body's not burning up then turns into glucose, which would kick you out of ketosis, which we will be measuring by pricking my finger 2 times a day, every day for like the next 3 months, which is gonna suck, but all good. We're doing whatever it takes. And by that, I mean, seriously, I hear people complain about things all the time, and I'm like, what did you do about it? Nothing. Okay, keep complaining. I'm gonna do whatever it takes because I have things I wanna do. I have this men's retreat in Italy. We're going on these crazy hikes. We're gonna be pushing the boundary of what's physically possible and spiritually possible, and I need to be 100% ready for all of my men and for myself when I'm out there, right? So whatever it takes, we're getting into ketosis, we're fasting for 4 days. Now, I wanna watch my protein intake, and we're gonna test just how much protein I can add to the mix without kicking me out of ketosis. Now, this is the part that's gonna upset some people. Alcohol is sugar. Now, I'm not a drinker, but I will, like on the weekends, if we're having lunch at my brother's house, I will have a drink with the family. You know, we'll have wine with lunch, or we'll have an Aperol Spritz if we're going to Salud Maria. That's out of here, right? There's gonna be no drinking, and there's gonna be no cheat meals. So if you're inviting me to your birthday party and I don't eat the cake, don't be mad. I'm working on something. I have something.
Blinker.
What?
Sorry, I was trying to turn on his blinker.
She's backseat driving for the car in front of us after almost killing us way back there. I'm working on something more important than eating cake at your party. You know what I'm saying, beautiful people? So, no alcohol, no cheat meals. We're gonna take a few days of fasting to get into nutritional ketosis. And we're gonna be doing this thing for a few months. And I'll keep you guys posted on the progress of, is this actually having an impact on my injury, or is it not? And the impact might not be felt right away. So if it takes me like a few days to figure this thing, it takes me probably like 4 days to get into ketosis, and then it might take a few times to figure out like how much protein can I really intake right now. Right now I'm doing like 190 grams of protein every day on my macros. So I'm gonna have to cut that down pretty significantly, but I want to stay as close to that as possible. I'll keep you guys posted on all that, and we'll see how it goes. And if you guys have any questions about this keto thing, because you heard from your friend that they tried it and it didn't work, I will be happy to answer those questions, because I've helped a bunch of people get into nutritional ketosis and sustain it for a very long period of time, right? Or forever, because they're still in ketosis every day right now. I do want you to know and understand that once you get this thing dialed, it's no longer really necessary that you prick your finger every single day. It's necessary for me for the next few months, because we want to make sure we have the most amount of available ketones being produced by the liver, so that I can be optimal in my training. And fun fact, things you're gonna hear or things you're gonna tell me is like, you're gonna lose a bunch of strength on keto. I'm not trying to be a power man lifter. I'm not a CrossFitter or any of those things. I obstacle course race. I train for tactical games, Patriot games, stuff like that. However, when I was in ketosis, when I owned my gym, I had a 405-pound deadlift in ketosis, and I had a 350-pound back squat in ketosis. I know those are not huge numbers for you guys that are like really into lifting. I get it. I don't have a 500 pound squat or a 500 pound deadlift. However, for me, for the training I was doing, that was more than plenty. I felt plenty strong being able to yoke 400 pounds off the ground. I don't need to lift any heavier than that. So yes, you can be strong and be in ketosis. And if you're gonna argue that I'm not strong enough with a 400 pound deadlift or a 350 pound squat, whatever, man. That's for you to think about and for me to do what I do. But this is what's up. We're doing the keto thing, unless we die on the way to Homestead Training Center, where we're gonna hit the obstacle course right now. Beautiful people, have a great day. Let's go, let's grow.